When my son was born, I struggled with mom regrets. Now I have 2 kids, and it happened again. My name is Melissa, and this is the Couch Mom Club. On April 12th, I had my daughter, and it was such an experience. So as you know, we're in a time now where we're living in a global pandemic. So having my baby in this season was quite the experience. There's a video actually that explains it all. And if you haven't seen it, you can click the link below. What I didn't expect to experience was that mom regret thing again. I talked about mom regret in another video, and of course you can click the link to find out more about that. And it hit me again. We were so happy to finally have this baby, even though she was 3 weeks early, 1 week earlier than my son. You know, I was prepared. I was way more prepared this time than I was with my son. So I didn't understand why I was having the mom regret thing again, why I felt guilty about not having her on the due date, even though I thought that I kind of explained the situation to myself, and I thought that I had a better grip on life. Why I was feeling mom regret after having her was just bizarre to me. So how it came is that, of course, I was ready in all other ways. I had the diaper bag packed, I had my hospital bag packed, my kitchen was done, and everything else that I set out to accomplish, I accomplished them. But she was due on May 1st, and I had her on April 12th. And that is what sparked the regret in me. Like, how come she's coming so early? What haven't I done yet? What would I have liked to have done? I was supposed to go into work the Monday after she was born, and it didn't happen, of course. And the same feelings just rushed back. The same regrets of what I didn't get to do flooded back, except there wasn't a list of things that I didn't get to accomplish. I felt like I was ready for this baby. I realized that it wasn't so much the feeling of regrets that I was dealing with, but it was the lack of control. Motherhood is a journey where you're 1, raising kids, and 2, where you're discovering yourself. You are constantly grappling with your identity, who you were, who you are now, and who you are trying to become. And I realized that in the midst of all of this having baby stuff, I have a problem with control. I like to be in control. I like to control outcomes. I like to control my responses to things. I like to control other people's responses to things. And I like to control when and how my babies are born. That's crazy. You can't control that. I mean, of course you can't control that. My son came 2 weeks early. My daughter came 3 weeks early. My son, just like I planned it, a natural birth, the time and the how, all planned out, all happened accordingly. My daughter came by C-section. I had no plans for that at all. 3 weeks early. She's grunting, sorry. Are you done yet? Trying to film something here. 3 weeks early, which was not the plan at all. But even though I was prepared, I was mentally prepared, I was emotionally prepared, I was physically prepared, I had everything that I needed to do already done, and I still felt that regret and that guilt. And I realized it's because I was not in control. I didn't have control over when she came. I didn't have control over when my son came. And I think that's what the underlying issue is. Not having control gave me a sense of anxiety, gave me a sense of worry. And I think that is absolutely crazy, even though it is absolutely valid. I'm learning about me, and that is something that, even though I kind of knew it about myself, it was in the process of adjusting to motherhood that I really learned that about myself. It's not so much that I want to manipulate outcomes. I just kind of want to know what's going to happen and how it's going to happen, just so that I'm prepared. I think that that is something that we all deal with as moms. Control is something that helps us to get through the day. If we know what will take place and if we know how things are going to go down, we're just better equipped to deal with them. But with kids, life is unpredictable. There's no other way to say it. It's just completely unpredictable. What you can control is how you respond, how you react. And that is what I'm learning. I can't necessarily control if my daughter comes by C-section 3 weeks early, but I can control my attitude and how I respond to it. So it's not so much that I'm dealing with regret, but I'm dealing with how to be okay when I'm not in control. As moms, we want to be able to control things. For example, we want to put our kids down for a nap and trust that they will nap and wake up at a certain time. We want to be able to say, when the child is napping, these are the things that I'm going to accomplish. But for those of you who have been doing motherhood for a longer time than I, and those of you who are just starting, you'll quickly find out you just can't control all the outcomes. Like today, for example, it took a long time to try to get this video done. This is actually my first video since I had the baby, and I realized how many things have to be in the right place at the right time in order to get something accomplished. My mood, my own attitude, the ability to get dressed, to get ready, feeding on time, putting my son down to nap, making sure the house is quiet. Like everything you have to consider to wrap things up into a nice little package so that you can get something accomplished is all a matter of what you can control. And the fact is, you can't control it all. There are certain things that are going to be completely out of your control, and that is okay. I think that I would love it if I can control every situation that happens in the house, every outcome. But I also think that if I had that control, life would be pretty boring. For example, when my son decided that he didn't want to nap at the time he was supposed to nap, then we would have missed out on his fun puppet show that he put on, impromptu. But it was fun. And it was a moment that we probably wouldn't have had if he had gone to bed when he was supposed to go to bed. You're always going to be grappling with identity, who you are. You're learning things about yourself. You're raising children and learning things about them. And it's always this beautiful dance between how things are and how you want things to be. In between that is where you're going to come alive. You're going to learn how to adapt. You're going to learn how to pick up the pieces and use the mess to your advantage. You're going to learn how to make something beautiful out of what is seemingly all blunders. It's just the nature of the game. That's just how we function as mothers. We use our situation and our circumstances to better us and to better life for our children. I don't think that this is going to be the last time that I ever grapple with control issues, because obviously, like, you just want things done a certain way. You want the floors to be vacuumed at a certain time. You want your house to be looking a certain way before you go to bed. There's so many things that you wish you just had full control over. The reality is that what you can control is just how you respond to what you can't control. It is what it is. Like, even now, my daughter's grunting away in the video. she could care less. I wish she would stop. I can't control that. She's a grunty girl. Actually, hold on. What is good is that I am not beating myself up about it like I did the first time. I am not going to take weeks to get out of the slump of mom regrets and guilt and lack of control. I am not going to waste time. I don't know. I think this is important to talk about just because I don't think that I'm the only one. I don't think that this is something unique to me. So just have fun with life. There are going to be times when you're going to get things right and you're going to be able to control things down to the science, and it will be great. And there are going to be times when things are just they'll just throw you for a loop and you have to just figure it out on the spot. Life itself, I mean motherhood of course, but life itself is like that. There are times where you're going to be able to control things and times when you're not. Just live and have fun living. Have fun on the journey. and it will all be all right. I'm no expert, and I would never profess to be one, but these are just what I'm noticing about myself. And when I hear conversations and when I hear others talk, I realize that I'm not the only one. And if I can just put language to your experience, put language to what you're going through, I think it'll be easier for you to get over it too, for you to just deal with it and move on. Because you miss out on so much of life when you're just stuck in your thoughts, when you're stuck wondering about what could have been. You come alive in the journey. And the journey is recognizing these feelings, dealing with them when they happen, and moving on quickly, or as quickly as you need to. So motherhood right now with 2 children it's beautiful. I'm learning routines and I'm learning to cope. I'm learning to find time to do all the little things and to take care of myself. But I think that what is great about it is that I have the time. I have the time, especially now that we are on quarantine. We're in the house. I have the time to make a mistake and to figure it out and get it right. And I'm grateful for that. I look forward to this journey. I think it's gonna be great. I have my son and now I have my daughter. I feel so much better because I feel like when I was pregnant, it was like, and I couldn't really move around. But if you like this video and want to see part 1 to the mom regrets, you can click the link over here and watch that video. Of course, I want you to subscribe, and you can do that by clicking the link down below. Follow me on Instagram and on Twitter, and I will see you in the next video. Because my son went down to sleep late, he's waking up late, so I gotta go get him.